Hi, everyone, and hi, Candid Culture, and welcome to Misha and Crystal Do Reality Reviews. I'm Crystal.
Hey Queens, I am Misha. Thank y'all for joining us and sticking with us throughout this season.
Yes.
Let's just get into these couples. Let's start with Rachel and
You want
Jose.
okay.
What did you think about them, Crystal?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Listen, I said it. I said it. I don't know how many times that as soon as she gets into his house, because we knew that was going to happen. She rents and he owns his own home. So they literally he said at the reception, "You own or you rent? Where do you live?" Like he was already making plans. So I love a man that makes plans, but he was already taking control. So we knew that that was going to happen. He was going to try to take control, and he had issues with her stuff. She wasn't doing it fast enough for him. She wasn't doing it the way he wanted her to do it, and she was like, this is not the marriage that I want somebody that wants to like have a conversation with me and not want to control everything. That's one. So basically, what did they last? Pretty much what, a month after, and then they were separated for a
Mhm.
month, right? So
Right.
yeah, they've been separated, and he's trying to get his wife back, and he's really realizing that he can't control everybody. So but I guess his uh for lack of a better word, his ace is like being his little um bug in his ear. This is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. So it took him 2 months of after not hearing Rachel, because he don't like to listen, for his BFF to say, she likes doing things, you need to do things with her. Come on now, really? So, and that also says something about him. That also says something about him, that
Right.
he didn't listen to anything she said for months. But as soon as Johnny said it, oh, I need to speak up. So I'm not surprised. He finally, after Kevin Frazier, who I have issues with already, after Kevin Frazier literally pulled it out of him, pulled, and still, he couldn't really say it. Okay, it was on purpose. I locked it. I locked up my house, and he admitted the
Mhm.
next day that I
Which,
was still angry. So I don't trust as far as I can throw him. We've been saying the whole time that this is another Virginia and Eric, and so that's it.
mhm.
I just he's trying, and he said, "Oh well, we're booking trips." Honestly, if you want to start out a trip to Mexico, if you're going to Mexico, it's actually a nice trip to start, and then hopefully Switzerland later.
Mhm.
But I mean, it better be Switzerland later, not hopefully. But Mexico's cool, and then you keep going and going and going. So, but I'm telling you, I don't trust it as far as I can throw it. He wants to control her, and I am happy for her though, because she was one of the people that I thought that she was going to be in the basement somewhere. I was like, she does not speak up. So I'm glad that she spoke up and said, "This is not the marriage I
Mm.
want. This is it." So I'm glad that she actually said something. I don't know if it was enough, but she said something. Yeah. hmm What did you think?
Yeah. Um, I thought Rachel looked good. That's the best like I've ever seen her look. Like I was telling you, you can see she put that married at first set. What is child? I cannot speak. Married at first sight check to
She got
use.
them trust. She got them.
Like you can tell where she put it to use at. And you can tell Jose probably just put it in a savings account somewhere and is not touching it. So you can see that like she's still doing her, she's not changing it. It's just the facades with her.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm glad she like she was actually honest that they broke up for a month. And that's not easy. It just like it feels like she's going like you can see like with every almost with every couple that there's that one person that's carrying the weight of the relationship. And I feel like Rachel has to do that in this relationship. The fact that she had to move back in with her parents, like
Hmm.
that's a whole nother like I don't want to say trauma,
That's a whole other
but
story, though.
it
That's
can
a
be
whole
a
other
lot when you
situation.
have your
Yeah,
freedom.
yeah. That's a
Hmm.
whole. And she got them
It can be.
tresses. She got them tresses. Her hair looks really pretty.
Mhm.
And Jose, as you just said, spent money on socks. So what? What? Yeah, that's it. Hmm. Yeah.
Right. It can be a lot when you're trying to like when you have to move back in with your parents, then you got to hear their opinion because now you're under their roof. And so that's a lot that Rachel's going through. But she looks like she's handling it well. I don't think it doesn't seem like it bothers her. I'm like, did you plan on doing this? Did you know this is going to happen? But yeah, I just my my whole thing with Rachel is like you gotta kind of pick a side in this because it's like something happens, she runs to the ex. Now this happens, she runs to her parents. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're going to continue to stay with him, now you're gonna have to hear it from all sides, like their opinion, and no, you don't need to be with him because of this, and that, because you keep running to these people. So I think at some point Rachel has to decide this relationship is not good for me.
I
I'm
will
carrying
agree.
too much weight. I'm doing too much.
I will agree
Mhm.
with you on that. That she needs to like pick a side and either make a decision to leave the marriage. But I also think that after the cameras go off, and I think that in the back of her head, well, we're always thinking about, huh, like how, he's nice and like I got exactly what I asked for, and all of these lovey-dovey things that they were saying, nobody believed them. But
Mhm.
I was like, after these cameras go off and you're gonna have to move into his house, how's things gonna be? And I think that she was like, my husband's controlling. She wrote a whole diatribe on her phone about how things are gonna be.
Right.
So, and he's really controlling. He wants to control me. All of these things. I'm like, you thought about this before, um, before decision day, but you still wanted to say yes and you still
Mhm.
wanted to chance it. Yeah. And I actually had a
Mhm.
friend, and I'm not going to go get off into too much of a tangent, that this is what happened. Like, he, the nicest guy, was so sweet before the marriage. And then when they got married and moved, I think they moved to Virginia. Yeah, moved to Virginia. He was controlling and abusive and all of the things, but he was the nicest, sweetest guy until.
Mhm.
So yeah, we can go. Hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just I don't have nothing else to add for them unless you do. But
No,
let's go
yeah, we're just gonna
on.
wait and see on this one. I do. Well, we can maybe talk about the boys' council a little later. Yeah.
Let's go on to Ryan and Brett. So this part cracked me up. I'll say Ryan's sister calling out Brett was like hilarious to me. Even when the
Right.
sister walked off the stage, she was looking at Brett like, I will snatch you up one good time for coming on here and try to blast me. But they exposed what we've all been hearing, that Brett had a boyfriend, which is what they said during the show. So people felt like, you're saying Ryan's distracted, you were really distracted. I don't think she was distracted. She claims it was just a phone number. Nothing happened while the marriage was still basically before decision day. She claims now she's not dating anyone. I didn't believe it. She just like, I feel like we've had such an honest Brett this whole season
Right.
that it was like easy to pick up that nah, something fishy went on there that you're not admitting to. But what I will say, I don't think this is the same thing as Ryan going on a dating app, because it doesn't seem like Brett was looking for someone. It seems like She was somewhere, she got approached, she gave out her number. Versus Ryan intentionally going on an app, adding pictures, a bio, and searching, swiping. I think that's a little different from what Brett did. Because what Brett did didn't seem intentional. Like it didn't seem like she was looking for someone to me. Those are my thoughts on it. Um, if you don't call one wrong, you can call the other. But I can understand how Brett could be upset that she found out Ryan was on a dating site. But what do you think?
I'll agree with you. See, to me, I don't think it's as bad as what Ryan did. Okay, so Brett, she got approached. She's a beautiful girl, and this whole time she's been feeling like she wasn't because her husband's not attracted to her. She got approached. She somebody asked for her number, and she gave it. I don't think that, but Ryan literally intentionally going on a dating app and looking for women and swiping left and right is totally different than and is totally different from what Brett did. I will apologize a little bit for the amount of smoke that I gave him because I did smoke him. I did smoke this man. I called him a coward and everything else. I still think he's a coward because I
He's
think that
still a coward,
I
though.
still
That
think
don't
he's a
take
coward.
away.
I'm about to say I still think he's a coward because he didn't speak up. But as Brett said, listen, I could have been asked more questions earlier, but Ryan also is somebody that could have spoken up sooner. He could have said something. And I said this again, that even if it's going to hurt my feelings, be honest with me. I might be hurt for 2 days or whatever, but I'll get over it. And I'll put my big girl panties on and get on about my day and find somebody else that will love me and will be attracted to me. And that's really all she wanted. But for him to just clam up, that was not okay. His sister coming
Mhm.
on and said, "Yeah, I did think it was bad until that, we heard all of these things." And Ryan, and can I ask, am I crazy or did Ryan look really like hurt and upset? Was he trying to, and him sitting there messing with his shoe and messing with his socks? I was like, why are you pretending like you're really, really like hurt by this? You could care less. Like they had no emotional connection. They
Yeah.
didn't cross the threshold to actually being a couple. And I was like, why are you acting? And maybe that's the swelling in his eyes because he got them sunken eyes. But I was like, why are you acting like this is
I
such a good
don't know.
thing?
He said he saw messages and it
Yeah.
hurt him. And I was like, what are you talking
What
about?
are you talking about? You could care less about this girl. It hurt. That really hurt. And I said, maybe he's hurt because she was like, you know what? But I think this to her as well. Yes, I gave my number out, but it wasn't. But I'm not going to show you my family, show you all, where I came from and everything because you're on a dating app. Um, so I think I don't know. I don't understand why he acted like he was so hurt and hot, it's hot under collar about this. That was just silly to me. Uh, yeah, there was something else I meant to say. What were you gonna say? Go ahead, and I'll remember.
Shindy, she said his sister is used to fighting his bullies, and that's
Yes,
exactly what it gave. It gave like my sister is coming to meet me after school so she can beat this girl up that's been picking on me. The only thing is Brett wasn't picking on him.
never.
Like, I understand. I do feel that not Brett, what is his name? Ryan gave Brett more grace as far as like he didn't blast her out the same way that Brett blasted him for being on the apps. But it just gave, I'm like, why was she even invited here? I understand Michaela's sister was invited, but with Ryan's sister, it was like you have her here because Ryan won't speak up. Ryan won't address things. Ryan doesn't like confrontation. So you had to drag the sister all the way out here to like be the voice. And I'm like,
Basically,
but you're gonna sit here and say Ryan is ready for marriage after you had to speak for this man for the past 15 minutes. I'm like, this makes no sense.
Speaking of Be the Voice, you know how Kevin Frazier was saying that everybody, all the guys had left at some point in time, except for Gil, and Ryan had left, and they showed that Ryan said that, oh, we got in an argument, so I thought it was better than that I just left for a couple of days and do a reset. I'm like, Ryan, you think a loud whisper is an argument? Get boy, bye, get out of here! Like you were not
Where was
arguing,
that argument?
right?
Because he never said there was an argument. He just said,
No.
I just need my space and I'm just not feeling myself and this just isn't it. So I got to do a reset because I got to get some sleep because I've been sleeping on the futon. Like nobody told you to sleep on the futon. There was no argument. I really felt like in that moment he was like, because Ryan likes to keep up with appearances.
Yes.
So I felt like he saw all the other couples were having issues and he needed to say that to kind of feel like he's in the mix, like he's going through the same thing they're going through and you're not. You didn't have the same issues as them. So I felt like even when they were at that ranch and he's like he thought they were going to sleep in the same bed, out of the even though the last 8 weeks they have not even touched each other. So it's like he likes to keep up with those appearances. So I think in that moment, it's like he's trying to feel like he is say you ain't gotta lie to kick it. It's like he tries to like lie here and there to feel like he was present in this marriage and he wasn't.
And I also want to cover this. A lot of people are saying that Brett's reaction to what the sister was saying that she was lying, but I disagree with that. You know how when you're standing in your own truth and somebody is calling you a liar or somebody said that you stole something but you didn't, you're just like, no, I didn't. There's rumors and there's the rumors and there's the truth. I would have been like, that's not true. That's not how that happened. And I think that she was telling the truth. Now, she was honest about it. She said, no, I did exchange numbers with somebody before decision day. But I don't think it was like 2 weeks in. I don't think it, like this man shut down pretty much after the honeymoon. Like he just totally shut down. I don't think that they were like she was getting down like Ryan was saying and coming in at 2 a.m. How do you know you were hardly there to say that she wasn't there coming that she wasn't home at 2 a.m. So that's what I think that yes, she was honest. She said, yeah, that happened, but it wasn't to what he said. And so when you know yourself and you know your truth, you're just like, that's not how that happened. I'm not gonna get all up and roar and like you're lying. That's not how that happened. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back and forth with his sister. I know what happened. I know who I talked to. I know that it wasn't as big as she's making it, and that's it. That's not how that happened. So I believe her. Not kind of. I believe she was honest. She said, "Yes, I met somebody. We exchanged numbers, and that's it." Go ahead, Misha. I know you
I
disagree
think
with me. Go
she
ahead.
was lying a little bit. I think she was trying to save face a little bit, but I think at the same time, I think her irritation, because you did see like she was irritated. And I think that's because it's irrelevant now. Like we've already established Ryan don't give a damn about her. Like he did not want to be with her. So I think for her, I sense like why is your sister over here questioning me when you want nothing to do with me? What is the like? So
What's the
I
point?
understood that part. I don't think she told the whole truth. But then again, I think I was only expecting more truth from her because she blasted Ryan. But
Mhm.
it's irrelevant, I
It's
think,
irrelevant.
because the man did. I feel like she did try that first month. She did give her best effort. I think when she saw it's not going anywhere,
Mhm.
she gave
But
out her number, and I don't think she's wrong for that. I just think it is what it is.
yeah, and you know what? I remember, I think we were talking, I think it was during the ranch or right before the ranch. She knew that it was dead. Like I think right after Baxter died and they were when the dog ate all the flowers, she was like, this is dead. Like she was talking to her friend. And I felt like around there she just started to check out too. She said he's just different. He's checked out a long time ago. Like it was like right around the ranch time that I feel like that's when her and Bao had the same kind of story. They were just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, if he don't want me, I can't. I'm not going to force anybody to want. That's. I feel like that's one of the things she said. I'm not going to force anybody to try. It might have been around there. So at that point, she knew that he was for sure checked out. So she just started to check out too. I can't even blame her on that. I'm sorry, I can't blame her. And you guys can call me a hypocrite if you want, because I can't blame her. Because I'm not gonna
All
force
right,
nobody to
this
like me. Let's
okay.
go. I'm sorry.
No problem. So let's get into Michaela and Zach. This
Lord
was
D.
like Cirque du Soleil. It was a hot mess. Like they both just came on the toxic train and were just choo chooing and a chugga chugging. I was like, what is this? Like, why is this so messy? But what did you think about them?
They are children. They are children. Jeez.
Yes.
They are children. But now, two things. Okay, so Michaela, she asked for him not to come on stage. And I kind of agree with her on that, because to me, they just love to bicker back and forth. She's got her story, he's got his story. Once they start talking, and they're just going to start cussing at each other and fighting, and nobody's going to hear each other. So I'm kind of, even though, like, come on, Michaela, you're being a child, but at the same time, I said, it's probably a good idea. I said, it's probably a good idea that you don't have him on there with you, right? But so she says this, so he doesn't come on stage, it was obvious that's what production does, but they get his reaction every second, everything, it's his reaction, right? So she's talking, and I was like, because Michaela is Michaela, I don't know how much of this is the truth. Like, is this 85% true? Is this 70% true? Because to me, Michaela, now I know that you're either boldface lying or you're exaggerating. Just like you saying, there's no evidence to say that I blew up and I exploded. There's no evidence. Like, there is evidence. So to me, I feel like Michaela has her truth that she manipulates, and then Zach double talks. And so I'm like, how much of this is Michaela's truth? And she only heard what Zach spun in a circle in a in and did a merry-go-round. Like, because Michaela said that after the decision day, he asked me to come over to his house, and I've been cooking, cleaning, and sexing him for 7 to 8 days, right? And so I'm like, how much of that is true? Now, I'm not surprised. Now, I believe her that they probably were getting down after the decision day. Absolutely. Did he say come over that night and then she stayed? I don't know, but I also know that Zach double talks. He probably did say absolutely you can come by. And Zach is saying I didn't ask her to stay at my house, but if your house is that kind that you need a key, then then how is she lying? Like, it's but Zach does so much double talk and confusing, stuff, that, hey, if he's gonna be able to keep the sexing, why not? So to me, I know how Michaela talks. No, I'm sorry. She lies, she exaggerates, she blows up and manipulates the situation. But then Zach also is a double talker, and he says all this stuff to make her think that they're getting back together, and they're not. So it was just a circus. So then she says Zach manipulated me. He played me. He said that we were going to get back together, and we weren't. One, why would you even do that? This man told you no, then let it be no, and go on about your business and find somebody else, get some therapy, and get some counseling, get some what do you call anger management. But at the same time, her sister comes on I agree with her sister. They both want to be right. They're both stubborn, and it's just a toxic relationship. One last thing, well, two last things. Zach, I think, likes the toxicity. Although he knows that Michaela's not right for him, and he knows that this is not a good situation for him, and he knows that this is not a good relationship for him to be in, he still is kind of addicted to the Michaela of it all, or that type of personality. So he still wants it, even though he knows he shouldn't have it, right? And then two, she wanted them to be separated on that stage. But then as soon as Zach goes out and wants to talk about his truth, then she bolts for the door. He at least, and what's so funny is he is kind of a rule follower because he could have picked up his phone, left, and went right on stage just like she did, right? But he said, "Why don't y'all let me get out there?" He was getting so upset. But then, as soon as it was his turn, she bolts for the door and goes. And I said, "This is the type of thing, Michaela. Why didn't you the one that wanted y'all to be separated? But then you bolt for the door and go out there." Um, and so the second thing is the. I'm sorry. This is the last thing I'm gonna let you speak. During the 1 month anniversary, they spent the night at the hotel. He's and Michaela is saying that we never that we slept together, and um, then he says, then, I'm sorry, Michaela says, "Don't tell anybody we slept together. If you tell people, I'm going to deny it." Why? Why are you going to tell people that you denied it? I know what you're about to say. Why are you going to tell everybody that you denied it? And then if you tell everybody I'm going to deny it, uh, but I'm like, but you're married, right? And then he says, "We never slept together. I only slept with her once." Now that is a lie. Now that part, Zach, you're lying. I don't know if it was you for sure had, and I don't know, you weren't there, but it was everybody's guest in the audience that thought that you guys had sex that night and several other times in there. Now everybody is saying that's because that you and Bao had already started sleeping together. I don't know about that. I don't believe that part, but I do think I think that this is crazy. Why would you care? Why would you care? And everybody's saying it's because you and Bao had already started messing around. Honestly, Val's not going to use you to say no to Johnny. She don't. Johnny gave her plenty of reasons to say no. Had nothing to do with you. Johnny was a jerk. That's why she said no to Johnny. So I don't think that's a good enough reason. But I don't understand you saying I'm going to deny it. That's just silly to me. So I don't know what part of everything that Michaela said was an
Yeah.
exaggeration. Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. That was like a huge red flag. How do you sleep with your wife and tell her she can't tell nobody?
That makes no
I
sense.
definitely believe that because she was like she was sitting backstage like he did exactly what he said he was gonna do. He denied it, and I'm like, it's just weird. It makes it look like something was going on with someone that's in their circle because why would you say don't tell anybody? It will be different if, like, let's say he was messing with someone that was outside of the show, no one knew, there would be no reason to say don't tell nobody. So the fact that he said don't tell nobody makes me think that it was somebody close. Like he was dipping and dabbling with somebody close. And like, or like I just don't understand his mindset. Like what was, and to get up right after y'all did the do and say that, that is so, I would feel degraded if I was Michaela. Like, so now I'm side-eyeing Michaela. Why did you?
We lost her. She'll be back, y'all. But I do want to say what Chindy said. This is so funny, Chindy, because I agree with you. When she said that, I was like, girl, you have an issue boiling water. You can't cook. So why are you saying that you were cooking and cleaning? And then I think that what you were doing was you were cooking in that bedroom though. You maybe not know how to cook a meal, cook pasta, but you know how to cook. So I think it was a different type of cooking that she was talking about because this girl, she was doing all her, and basically she was saying I was doing all of these wifely duties for the next 7 to 8 days, and then he says, don't talk to me. um we need to start seeing other people. It's just not working out. It was just weird. The whole thing was weird. So I don't know if it's because I don't know about the Zach and Bao thing. I think that happened after the show. After the show, that's when everything started to happen. There, she's back.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
let me finish. I don't know what happened.
I started to Chindy was giving us comic relief. So I was talking, I was like, girl, you can't boil water. Why are you talking about that you were cooking and cleaning, doing all these wifely duties? So go ahead. You got it.
She must not have been doing that much cooking
She was
because
cooking in the bedroom. That was it. That's what she was
right,
doing.
not in the kitchen.
Not
She was probably door dashing and throwing out the containers because that made no sense.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, it made. Where was my? Let me get back to what I was saying.
Yeah, I don't even. So yeah, we were talking about like Bao and the whole why. Why would she lie? I think that's where you left off at.
Yeah. So I didn't understand that them trying to do it separately. I think Michaela was just trying to get his attention even more and to let him know, like, I'm through with you, because Zach confuses me. It's like he doesn't. It's like Zach underplays everything, and Michaela overplays everything. So we're just sitting there like, okay, where's the truth in this?
Right.
Because I don't get how Zach can never see any fault in anything. I don't get how she's saying she's upset with you, can't even be in the same room with you, and you're saying I was excited to see her, I was really happy to come here. And I'm like, what? Like, where were you in this relationship? He must have like that Ryan syndrome where he is just checked out and he's not present, because I don't get how. And you have a man, you have, what is that man's name, Kevin, explaining to you, you led her on, you let her think there was still a chance. Well, where'd you get that from? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Then he starts cussing. I'm like, oh, I hate when he cusses. It's just so, like, you can't just communicate. Like, is your vocabulary not big enough for you just to communicate without profanity? But yeah, I was just looking at Zach like, he took my head on a merry-go-round because I did not understand. Like, I didn't understand. Everybody was confused. Like, Kevin was confused, Michaela was confused. He just made no sense. Let's see.
Are you still there? Okay. I didn't know if you had frozen. But he makes no sense. And Kevin was trying to explain it to him. And he was like, what are you guys talking about? I said that we might, we may be able to stay together or we may not. Do you see how crazy that sounds? So yeah, the whole thing was crazy. Are you still there? Oh Lord, y'all, I think we lost her again. We lost Misha again. We lost her again. So, so yeah, Kevin Frazier was trying to explain. And my thing is with Kevin Frazier, sometimes last season he was acting up too. I did not like the way he was talking to one of the guys last season. So I just feel like I have an issue with Kevin Frazier too. I feel like Kevin Frazier, we need somebody like a Kia Simone. Be like, let's go here. We need somebody like that. Yeah. So Yeah, Kevin Frazier drives me nuts. I just so that's it. That's it. Go ahead, Misha.
That's all I have for them. Like, yep. You hit it already. You hit a few points that I was going to speak on. But let's get into Gil
Zach speaks in tongues,
and
Cindy.
Mirla. Mirla's getting a lot of flack for. Here's the thing. I'm Team Mirla. I don't think she's wrong. Yes, her delivery was cold blooded. Did she blindside Gil? I think she did in the area that
Okay, so we're gonna go on to wait till Misha comes back. So Mirna, she after 14 days after Gil, after they say yes, then she's gonna say, I'm not attracted to you. My issue is, and I stand 10 toes down in the fact that I had an issue with Ryan uh doing this, not speaking up. I have an issue with Mirla not speaking up. Stop this not speaking up. And I remember Mirla saying to him, well, how would you have reacted? Do you know? No, she asked, do you know how you would have reacted if I said that to you? No, nobody knows how they're gonna react if somebody says, I'm not attracted to you, or you're not my cup of tea, or whatever, or let's be friends. You gotta say it. And that's, at least he would know how to move in that instance. So one, I agree, Gil with his nitpicking and his constant jabs was not cool, but she never said stop with the constant jabs. She never said stop with the constant jabs. She never said stop with the nitpicking. She admitted that I never said that. So I agree that that was not cool for him to be constantly jabbing, constantly nitpicking. But to me, same thing with Ryan, and that I've said this whole time, Ryan, you got to speak up. Then Mirla, you got to speak up. I don't think stuff like a beard and hair you can get over, because a bald man, I'm sorry, a guy with hair, especially a black man, he might go bald sooner or later. So hey, he's bald and he's got a beard, or he doesn't have a beard. So fine. I think that that's one of her negotiables. The non-negotiables, not kind of, I blame these production people, because, or this show, because if those are her non-negotiables, she wants somebody that's more set in his career. She wants somebody that's more set in their career. That's a non-negotiable to her. Why would you put her with Gil? They look at other things. I think Gil's going to ground her more, and I think get her out of her shell. All of these things. Stop saying stuff like Gil's going to get her out of her shell, and Mirla's going to bring excitement to her life. That's not what she wanted. She wanted a man that's set in his career. That's it, and that's not what she got. But I do think that she should have said something. She should have spoken up much sooner. Um, and the way she did it, like, he said that he packed up everything. He kept his dog and his blender and his clothes, and that's it. His dog, his blender, and his clothes, and that's it. To me, come on, Marla, you knew before this man sold everything, which I think nobody sells everything and keeps their dog and their well, maybe he did, and their clothes, and that's it. But even if that was an exaggeration, you saw how this man was moving. You could have said something. You could have said something. So I just feel like same thing. I gotta say, everybody's getting on her because of the way she did it. It was actually kind of funny because he said, I'm doing all right. And she's like, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous. And I was like, okay, why are you fabulous? What is happening? I was like, I'm waiting with bated breath because I want to know what happened. And hey, Miss Kia, how are you doing, lady? So I wanted to know what happened and how she was moving, because she was moving mad. I feel like she was really moving mad in right after decision day, because he basically said right after decision day that we broke up, and she told me that she doesn't want me anymore, or she doesn't want to be with me. She's not attracted to me. Um, but to me, she's holding a lot in, and uh, she was saying stuff like, I have a really good man. She would, I mean, y'all put in the chat all of the different accolades. My husband's really patient with me. My husband's this, my husband that. But then you didn't want him. You did not like him. What was it, several weeks ago, y'all? We kept saying, this woman don't like him. This woman is not attracted to him. But then you would say stuff like, I'm attracted to him. My husband, I really like him. All of these things. Yeah, 14 days. That's for enough time for the check to clear, and she was out. 14 days. What if she don't want to be? What if she don't want to be out of her shell? No, I agree that she's an introvert. She's an introvert, sure. Be an introvert, but still they had plenty of time to have these conversations on their own. But no, she wanted to keep everything in. They could have even talked about, well, what kind of women are you attracted to? What kind of men are you attracted to? Something, and say, you're not usually my type of guy. You're something. Honestly, the way she did it was not cool. Um, I know everybody's team Mirla. I don't dispute you're not attracted to him. The type of, you're not attracted to his mindset as far as not motivated by money. The non-negotiables are a big thing. Absolutely. Non-negotiables is somebody setting their career, somebody that's financially stable. Be that. But don't, but say that. Like, she kept everything in. If that is a non-negotiable and you're attracted to who you're attracted to, great. I agree with you. But don't act like, don't say all of these things about my husband this, my husband that. That's what I think. I'm like, Mirla, she pulled the okey doke on everybody. So but I want to get into, when Marisha comes back, I really was holding off and getting into Gil's outfit. Some people were calling that suit, I was calling it wine. Other people were calling it cranberry. The suit was fire. And the my cousin was calling it Nigerian loafers, because y'all know them Nigerians can can slip on a loafer with the red bottoms. I didn't even know that there were men red bottoms. So I do have a question, y'all. Until Misha gets in, and that's what I was saving for Misha's Wi-Fi to stop acting up. If you don't, if you're not attracted to somebody, now I'm not talking about somebody being forced into sex, okay? Because they got on me last night on Maria's live about rape and all this other stuff. Why did she sleep with him? Why? Because she kissed him. He did not kiss her. He did not kiss her. Why did she sleep with him? So Chindi said, yes, I was hoping she didn't sleep with him and getting aliment. Are you talking about aliments? Yeah, 14 days until the check cleared. Yes. Foxy Brown, Mirla, sorry. She kept saying noted, like it wasn't noted, but she kept saying, like, when he would call her a spoiled brat and all of these little nitpicky things. Okay, I hear you. I acknowledge what you're saying, but and when she would say stuff like, but I'm not that. I'm not high maintenance. Yes, you are. So, but that doesn't say no, I don't like you calling me a brat. And so he said, and I do think that there's a little kid in him that thinks that this nitpicky things are cute to him. He was thinking that it wasn't a bad thing that I'm calling her all of these things. You know how when you're in school, the kid that likes to push you, the little boy that likes to push you or knock down your books, that's the little boy that really likes you. I think Gil thought that it was cute, but it wasn't. And until she stopped him, and I know I said this a couple weeks ago, he was going to keep doing it. Yeah. So yeah, Miller was drinking them 50-cent margaritas when she came in to meet with Dr. Pepper. Miller was lit. I don't, That scene with the Dr. Pepper and drinking and crying, I'm not even gonna address that. She's a crying drunk, whatever. But all the other stuff, calling him, oh, my husband this, and calling him, my husband's such a good man, and all of these things. If you don't like him, stop calling him that. Stop it. Gil is somebody that likes to nitpick. I agree with you, and he likes to just keep harping on those things. Absolutely. Um, yeah, and I remember that too, Chindi. They both said if they met each other out, they wouldn't date. But and that's absolutely true. He said if I met her years ago, I wouldn't have dated her. And he also said like he thought the nitpicky stuff, that's just part of marriage. That's something I would get over. But was he playing for the camera? Like, why do you keep doing that? Stop doing it. So here comes Misha back. Okay, you back now?
Yes, I'm so
Okay.
sorry, y'all.
That's okay. That's okay. We back now. Yeah, we started talking. I was trying to hold off because I had a question for the crowd and everything, but I was started talking about. So I had to get into this wine color suit of Mr. Gill's and these red bottoms
The
for
red
men.
bottom shoes.
Yes, the red bottoms for men. I didn't even know men. I was like, I didn't know he had Christian Louboutin made made red bottoms, them Nigerian loafers, because you know the Nigerians they can slip on a nice loafer. I got that from my cousin. She was like, "Yeah, these tiny red bottom loafers for men." But my last point, and they were getting on me last night because I was saying that Gil, even though he was said all of this crap to her, he said, I was motivated by my wife. She did motivate me to do more. She did do all of these things. But why would he say that? So I feel like one, he shouldn't have been, then he shouldn't have said, well, I'm not motivated by money. He was saying all of these things. But then last night, he was giving her all of these accolades. So I do feel like
You should
he
have
could have
said that
been.
during his marriage.
What'd you say? He should have said that during the marriage. Absolutely. But I don't think that that's why she wasn't attracted to him. I think she said, no, not think. She said it at the very beginning. I wasn't attracted to him. So go ahead. There's more, but go ahead, Misha. Go ahead.
Yes, it just a lot of things didn't make sense. It just seemed like Gil was in his feelings extra hard because where are you coming out with red bottoms when you don't like material things, and Mirla is so wrong for buying material things, and she needs to stop doing the 2 or 3 times a year where she buys expensive things. She needs to cut that out. But here you are on the reunion with that tight suit. When he crossed his legs, I was like, please don't let them seams bust. You know, his thighs are as big as some tree trunks. So I was just like praying for that suit because, like, why? The beard was throwing me off. I just like it just didn't make sense. Like the things he was saying. Well, because she said my non-negotiable was financial stability. And he's like, well, I make $100 more than you every 2 weeks. And we're like, that don't even sound right. That don't even make sense. Like how is that possible when you were just whining on the phone to your mother talking about she makes twice as much as you? So when did you start making $100 more than her? And it's like, and everybody's saying $100 is not a lot of money. Where are you coming from with that? So it just like you just had that phone conversation with your mother where you said you don't feel like it's right that you should have to pay bills because she makes more money than you. So to me, it's just he didn't make no type of sense. Like, what are you? He was just in his feelings. He clearly shows he does not handle his emotions well. And I think it makes it even worse that Mirla's a logical person. A person you see, she doesn't really operate out of emotion. It's okay, this, and this don't add up. So I'm checking out now. So Gil is struggling. whatever Mirla did to him, he's going
He is
through it.
struggling. He's going through mentally. He's going through therapy. I actually like the beard with a touch of salt. I do like the beard. I do think that but I do think that he is struggling. I do think that he really tried to adjust. And now that I'm pronouncing the word, I do know what aliment means. Now that after I was like, oh, you mean but so Kia was like aliment, basically pretending the marriage never existed. I think that Mirla wanted to go through this process. I think that even though she doesn't like people and she's an introvert and she's this, she's that, she's this, she's that, she's all of the things. She was like, I want to try something different. So she was just like, I want to try something different. I remember you saying earlier that she might be an Aries. She might be. There are some of us that two things. One, when we're done, we're done. And I have been the type of person that has gone back, even though I know that about myself, has gone back in a relationship when I know that I was like that I shouldn't be, and it never works. As I've done that one time, it was the worst decision. So I believe, and I was like, I'm like, Chris, this is not like you, right? So yeah, I do think that there are parts of her that I definitely see. Besides that, just the different personality traits, I agree with you on that. But I do think that he's going through it. Gil is going through it. And I think that she should have said something. She should have said, I'm not attracted to you. Like, say that you're her non-negotiables.
I think she did become attracted, though. I think she meant, like, initially she was not attracted to him, but like, I agree with you. She should have said something before she saw him selling. I don't know if he really had that many items to sell, but she should have, like, said something before then. I agree. And it's like, he was like, I thought it was funny that he was like, you know what? I said, no, you stay in the apartment. I'm going to leave. I'm like, of course you did, Gil. You could not afford that apartment. So I just feel, yeah, go ahead.
So why did they sleep together? So, okay, so here's the thing. Mirla, and so this is what we got into long discussion last night, because to me, and I said this when we first started doing this show, that Mirla is not somebody that's going to be forced or forced into doing anything. She wasn't forced to kiss him, and maybe not forced, but pressured into kissing him. So why did she kiss him? She kissed him. He did not kiss her, and she did it 2 weeks after Dr. V came by the house. Why did she kiss him? And then 2 weeks before decision day, why did she have sex with him?
I think she did put on an act. I think that, like, a lot of the things she was doing, like, there were clearly scenes where he had pissed her off, like when they're at the restaurant and he's like, well, did you think about if I would like this restaurant? And they're at the skating rink and he starts making his comments there. You can clearly see in her face that she was pissed off at the comments he's making, but she still held it in and she didn't say anything. And I think it would had to do with the parents, with how she's represented on the show. And I think she was also trying to, like, fool the experts and thinking things were going along more than they really were for her. But, and I also think, because if you look at the timeline, if it's 2 weeks from decision day, she waited for that Married at First Sight check to cash. That's what she was waiting for.
Yeah, no. That's why I did. There's some. I think it was Chindy that said that while you were having Teddy Riley issues with your Wi-Fi, that Chindy was like 14 days for the check to cash. But I do feel like Mirla could have said, okay, so you mentioned the skating rink. You could tell that she did not like the whatever he was saying to her. They were talking about money again. But if you had said something to me that I didn't appreciate or that I didn't like, hey, I don't like how you always make fun of me, I would have said, I don't appreciate you saying that. Something. She could have, That's what we've been saying. You can be honest and you can be honest and respectful at the same time. She could have said, "I don't appreciate the way you talk to me," something, but she didn't. And this is something else. We have said so many times that from the very beginning, this girl does not either, they're not attracted to each other, or a lot of people are saying that Gil doesn't like her. But we have said in the beginning that she does not like him. We used to say that, and then they started having these great communication things. Gil said, our communication was such the paramount. Our communication, we always communicated. So if this was an issue from the beginning, why didn't she say something, right? I said, Mirla is not the type that you're going to pressure into anything, not kissing her, nothing. You sometimes, when you like somebody, you make exceptions. And I said, she's not making exceptions on anything. So why, but she decided to stay married. I think that she, like you guys said, that it was that check. She wanted to make sure that check cleared. She wanted to have the experience, but I also think she should have said something.
But
She
I
should
think
have
it
said
all
something.
goes back to she just didn't like him that much, because I think if she did like him, she would have spoke up on those things. But it was kind of like, okay, when is this going to end? Let me get my check so I can get up out of here. So I think she just didn't like, she knew she didn't like him. I think when she kind of turned a leaf and started acting like there was like a hope for them to last and a hope for them to make it, I think she was just trying to protect her image. I think she realized she's getting this bratty, all the things Gil was calling her, she's getting that representation based off like how she's acting. So I think part of it was an act. I do think, like she said, there was non-negotiables. It seems from the faces he was making, like there was just a lot of things she did not communicate with him on. But it also seemed like a lot of things he was saying weren't true. He was exaggerating some stuff. Because you see, when he made that $100 comment, Merla snapped her neck real quick. Like, what are you talking about? And yeah, I just think it's like there's no right here. There's really no right here.
So let's go over this $100 comment. That was actually kind of funny to me. I was like, Gil, $100, really? I feel like sometimes, like, stop bringing stuff up that makes no bearing on nothing. You can lose $100, and it's like, I make $100 more than her every. It's almost like he was trying to justify himself, and I'm like, now you're to us, to me, you're losing your argument. I make $100 more than her every 2 weeks. But as a fireman with bonuses and per diem, if he works at night, like I said, that to me made no, that to me, that was like the 8 kid comment. Like I've told y'all before, that I was like, this woman ain't having 8 kids. You were not having 8 kids at 35. So that went in one ear and out the other. I said, I feel like he shouldn't have even brought it up. So I'm like, really, Gil, $100 more than her? Come on. So he does, and that's why she snapped her neck back. Like, what? I was like, what? So I just feel like they didn't like they're both of their non-negotiables. Not both of they neither of them got what they asked for. Neither of them got what they asked for. Neither of them uh really were going to make it in the end, because she was not going to, even if she wasn't lying. Go ahead, what were you gonna say?
No, I just think his insecurities did play a huge part. Even with the $100 comment, you see that's an insecurity for him. You see, like, he does have insecurities, his comments, his mindset. I think that played a huge role in why she ultimately decided this cannot work. Yes, she should have spoke up sooner, but I think Kevin giving him these crowns and tiaras and sashes, talking about he worked so hard and he did so much stuff, and all these other men are like, well, I kind of wish I had his problems, because the things he went through with Marla were way easier than what I'm going through. And I think, yeah, I just think it's it's a mess, child. But I just think Gil, like, I'm just saying there's no right here. Like, they both have areas where they were wrong. So I just didn't understand Kevin giving out all these awards to Gil. Like, what do you mean he was patient? Because he waited to get the cookie? That's how he was patient. He nitpicked her and nagged about her. And so I just, yeah, I'm just over this whole
First, I want
show.
to go back to Chindy because Chindy is hilarious. She said Kevin was flirting with Gil. Kevin was flirting with Gil. I, I kind of like he was doing a lot. I told y'all it should have been Kia Simone or me or somebody else. Kia should have been like, listen, let's go here. Like, I want somebody else besides Kevin Frazier in that seat next time, but that's another story. But then David was saying he said that because his ego was being touched. Everyone has insecurities. I mean, ladies have insecurities about their appearance and weight. So what's the big issue? But this is money, David. Like this is his. Now that is one part that Mirla did get right when she said, "No, you're saying that because of your insecurities." But to me, I was like, "Yes, because of his insecurities and him being a firefighter, a new firefighter, which is what I have an issue with." To me, you're him saying that he's not what did he say by money? He's not
Money
motivated.
driven.
Thank you. He's not motivated by money. She's motivated by money. I don't even think that's the issue. The issue is he's not excelled in his career. He's not financially stable. So when he needs somebody to help him as far as finances are concerned, he needs to get all that money out of Colombia. But at the same time, I don't think that he's somebody that doesn't know. He knows that money is important. My issue is, and he said, my whole issue is that she lied from the very beginning. She lied from the very beginning. Was she? So I feel like my next question. So I asked the question while your Wi-Fi was doing Teddy Riley. I said, why did she sleep with him? Now a couple people were like, well, she wanted to because she wanted to. But okay, so because men do it all the time, and I don't remember who that was to say, well, because she wanted to, they were in the bed the whole time for 2 months, and she wanted to sleep with him. Men do it all the time. Um, but we as women are usually the ones that have been like, I'm not really initially attracted to him, but because of his personality, because of whatever, a myriad of other things, now I'm attracted to him. I don't think that's good enough to me. I think she was playing the whole time. Like she was playing the whole time. She wasn't. This is who they fixed me up with. I guess I just want the experience. So let me ask you, why did she? Mila is not somebody that you can pressure into anything. She never gave me that. She never gave me that vibe. Misha, why do you think
I
that she
don't
slept
think
with him?
I don't think she was pressured into sex. I think she willingly had sex with him because she wanted to, because there's an element to her that does like Gil. I think there's certain things she does like about him. But as far as him being her husband, as far as him like them building a life together, no. Like, this man sat on the stage talking about he got a great pension. What does that have to do with today? Like, you said today you want to have kids. You said today, like in the near future, you want to buy a house. What is a pension? Like, it's just his like, he just was digging himself in a hole. But I think that was her husband. She did like him. Okay, she wasn't in love with him. She did like him. Obviously, there was great qualities about him. She spoke very highly of him in different scenes. So it doesn't surprise me that they slept together. But why did she sleep with him knowing good and well they didn't have a future together? Because she wanted to. As simple as I can put it.
Okay, so let's go over the kid thing. So when they're doing their little exit during decision day, she wanted kids tomorrow, and he said in 2 to 3 years. She didn't have to say any of that. They did not have to say that. Remember when after they said yes on decision day, and she said now we can start having on kids or working on kids, and he said yeah, in 2 to 3 years. So I'm like, why did you even say that? You didn't have to. Sometimes just like you just don't even have to say that. I feel like she should have pulled a Ryan at this point. Like, say you're not interested. Like, okay, and just nod your head. Okay, well, I don't want to make a scene. Okay, like,
But she has a career. I think she's a public speaker or something. Like that's what it involves. So I think she's also thinking, she thinks logically. She's thinking about her career. There's still people she has to interact with and she has to motivate and inspire. And she's not going to necessarily do that if she's pulling a Ryan and a Brett. And I think that's why she quickly sort of snapped out of it because in the beginning, you can see where she was not trying. She was just like, this isn't it. I'm not attracted to him. She was going to bed in them flannel PJs, and we're like, girl, what? And then you saw she like took a turn because I think it was all like how I said about Ryan. Ryan likes to keep up with appearances. I think in a sense Mirla did too, in that she didn't want to damage the career or brand that she's already built up for herself.
true, she did. She already has established a career and all of these things for herself. But I just feel like again, the whole thing was acting for 2 months, and she should have just said, "You're not the type of guy I usually go for," or because he even said that's something I could work with. That's something if you would have told me that because we had based the whole thing on communication. And this is another thing. She was constantly touching him. Why am I going to be touching somebody I'm not attracted to? Like I like the touchy feely, like he physical touch is his love language. We all know that she don't like massages. We all know that that's not her love language. Then stop touching this man. Stop doing it
But in all fairness, she did not say physically. She never, like, it could have been emotionally, mentally that she wasn't attracted to him. I don't think it was all about looks. I think it was a little deeper than that for her. But yeah, because Gil's not a bad looking dude. I don't think any woman would say, cause like my whole thing, there's nothing really Gil can fix about himself physically. Like the man is in great shape. He dresses decent. He looks good. I'm not going to touch on that, but
I do think he's a handsome man. I do think he's
yeah,
a handsome man. Go ahead.
physically, I don't think there should have been any complaints. I get it. She doesn't want a bald head, but that's kind of a negotiable to me. And I think she could get over that. I think maybe there were other areas and she kind of seemed like she was shut down, like she really wasn't explaining herself a lot here. So I think she could have meant more than just looks.
And so to me, you're right. Like looks are negotiables. Looks are the non-negotiable, or looks are the negotiables. The non-negotiables are the other, the finances and how they look at life. Absolutely. If that is one of those non-negotiables, I don't know. I just feel like she should have said something. They even asked her about the bald head, and he said, "No, I can get over the bald head." Like, I just, she's like, "I felt like I would be distracted by the bald head." He actually is a good looking guy. He actually, now I do think his eyes, he's got sunken eyes like Ryan. Like this has stressed him the F out.
At
His
the reunion, definitely. But
Mhm.
yeah, he going through it. Listen, Gil showed up a wreck, okay? That suit and the red bottoms did not fool nobody. He was a wreck.
No, I don't think they were. I think Dr. V is married to a doctor as well. But yeah, he did. He showed up a wreck, and she's really put him through it. And I will say this. Uh, he has said, "I've never been somebody that had a problem finding or getting a woman or getting a date, whatever he said in the beginning, right?" So this is something that, like, he's wanting to be married and grow a relationship and all of these things. And now he said, now I'm always going to be thinking about that. Is she really like me? Is she really attracted to me? So I do think that he did come in with a certain amount of confidence. I don't know if confidence is the right word, but maybe self-assuredness. And she kind of knocked him down. Well, not kind of, she knocked him down. She knocked him down to some. So, but I do feel like she should have said something. And I'm just like with Brett. You don't like me, you're not attracted to me, that's fine. I get it. You're attracted to who you're attracted to. But don't play this. We communicate a lot. My husband is so patient. No, no. Speak up. Speak up. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's my issue with it. Yeah. And honestly, he dressed better than she did. This she, that
I think there was just no one there to hold him accountable. And you saw, like, even with the comments that he was making towards her, it's just it all fell back on, well, she didn't speak up, she didn't, and it's like you were talking down to her. So, and I feel like he knows the narrative the show ran with her. So I feel like he was kind of playing on that by sprucing things up and painting this, damsel in distress, and he was just left out on the curb. And I just wasn't here for Gil. I'm
I
very left. But
the
yeah,
damsel
she
in
could
distress
have
is
spoken
hilarious.
up and communicated. But Gil, don't do that.
So,
Don't get
so
on
this is what
TV.
I was saying while your Wi-Fi was doing Teddy Riley. This is what I was saying. To me, one, she admitted that she did not speak up, right? She admitted that she did not say, I don't like you putting me down. She did not say that, but I would say stuff like, no, I'm not. I'm not high maintenance, this, that, and the other, right? But and this is what I was saying earlier is that when you know how you were a little kid and the kid that the guy that knocks the books out of your hand, or that's the guy that really likes you, he thought that it was cute. He thought, and I feel like that's what he said. He said, I don't talk about anybody like that unless I like you, unless I and so he thought he was being cute. It's not cute. Mirla, tell him something. Say, I don't like that. I don't appreciate you calling me a brat. I don't appreciate you calling me whatever, all these other things that he was saying. She needed to say something. Yeah. Yeah. She needed to say something. Don't just be like, don't say nothing. She admitted she didn't say anything. I think that was childish of him. He said, um, I only do that to people I like. What? How old are we? So I think that he should have handled that better. Anyway, yeah, I'm so
Sarcasm at this age. I don't. It gets to the point where if that's all you can, every time you open your mouth, it's sarcasm. It's a little ridiculous. I agree with Kels B. I feel like she turned the tables on everybody, on Gil, the producers, the experts. I think because she is an introvert, this is how she felt was the right way not the right way, but the way she wanted to do it. So yeah, I think she definitely turned the tables on everybody because, like she said countless times, this is not what I asked for. So you blatantly went out of your way to match me with an opposite. So I think the smoke isn't all for Gil, even though he's getting all the pain from it. I think she's trying to get back at the experts and the producers too, because you played in my face. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play in yours too.
I might give you some on that one, because to me, she's like, I'll fix you. Because even with the decision day, she was like, well, who was that? Dr. V or Sergeant Pepper? Dr. Pepper, what did she say? She was like, well, we just thought that, opposites, you being very, um, liking the finer things and him liking a little bit more structure, you guys would complement each other. Were we wrong? And she's like, yes, you were wrong. I feel like I might give you, you might have something there. She was like, y'all were wrong. That's not what I wanted. And so she's like, okay, I'll fix them. I'll get what I need to do and move on. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I think, but I do want to say, and Foxy Brown was talking about these producers. Right. These are people's lives. Stop matching them with the opposite of what they want. It's all for drama. And because Mirla didn't want to drop her status, they hate her. I don't think nobody hates her. I think that Mirla is she's stuck in her ways. I don't hate Mirla. I like Mirla, actually. Um, and she has worked hard to get where she wants and get what she wants. I just think that she was the way she handled it was wrong, but I also think the Gil calling her all kinds of stuff, brat and everything else, I don't think that was right either. Um, yeah, and they matched her with these people. They didn't. Neither of them got what they wanted. Neither of them got what they asked for. Yeah, yeah, and Tia Maria has issues with the experts too. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was laughing at Foxy Brown. She mentioned these Facebook groups threatening
Yeah.
Mirla. I think she said before that these Facebook groups, like, they got people standing in line trying to get a chance with Gil. And I'm like, girl, I have at it.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, him and Brett should get together. Honestly,
Yes, that made so much more sense.
him and Brett should get together, and I think that would be a good match. Tia Maria, what's up, girl? Miss you. The experts have matched numbers and matched the number of people with opposites. If she watched the show, she would know that. Also, what she did is creating a buzz and upping the ratings. She is helping the production. Yep. Gil thought he was helping production and being the commentator, but she was the one helping production. Excuse me. I agree. I agree with that totally. I want to kind of go around and talk about this. Oh gosh, we're still on them. You want to talk about the bromance? Who we missed except for Ballerina?
If you want to talk about them boys, I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like they gave a bunch of nothing. They were like, well, how did you feel when you heard Gil and Merla broke up? It's like, and like, what, like, I don't know. I just didn't see the point of it. I'm ready for next week. I want to see about the Zach and Bao. I want to see what their answers are to that. Now they're trying to throw Merla and Johnny together and say they got something going on. So I'm like, I'm ready for next week. It seems like a lie's going down and Gil storms off. It looks like he's storming off because of that question about Merla and Johnny. So
two things. So I agree with you that the reason why they didn't go over Bao and Johnny because they needed people to watch next week, or they needed people to keep watching. They knew that we need to keep some fluff in here because nobody. If we packed all the cast into one episode, they're not going to watch. They're not going to watch the outtakes. We're not going to watch the rest of the stuff. So, and my question is, so is she now a Dust Bunny because she slept with him? Because everybody's calling him a Dusty. Is he? And so she's not a Dust Bunny. So she's not. So why is she? I've been asking why this woman stuck with him because she wanted to.
Yes, she likes the man.
I don't like calling him a Dusty. So why
with him? That's the thing. She didn't see a future. I think on my live last night, I don't know when that live was, but me and Kimberly were talking about how she's like teased and led men on, knowing good and well is not going nowhere. And I think men and women do it both, but with women, it's more like, why are you using your body? Because women, I feel like there's definitely a stereotype where women, you're adding to your body count, but men, you're just doing what a man does type of thing. So I think they were definitely connected. They had a closeness, but she knew good and well he wasn't financially stable. Like, she didn't like the taunting or whatever he was saying to her. She didn't like that, and she didn't like his mindset. I think overall it's really was his mindset and his insecurities that put the nail in the coffin for her. But she did like the man. She spoke very highly of him. I don't think it's that hard to come to terms with, but she slept with him. I mean, I've slept. Never mind. Let me not. Let me not do that.
That's for CMK. That's for CMK. I'm gonna stop you there. That's for CMK. So I get that, and I get that, and I don't dispute that. But Mirla seems like to me that I get that, we as women, that we sleep with men that we don't see a future with, and all of those things. But at the same time, if communication was key in their relationship, and that
Zach did it with Michaela. Why did Zach keep sleeping with Michaela? Why did he do that? Because it was good. It's like, it's not that hard to understand. I get where you're coming
so
from.
last night, okay, I hear
I
what you're
actually
saying.
felt the same thing. But ultimately,
The South is saying, where is the accountability? I agree. Like, I feel like if he's such a hard head and such a horrible guy and all of these bad things, then pull a Ryan and just say, I'm not feeling it. Like, they could have lived as roommates for 2 months. They could have done that. So
when you
yeah.
have people in your ear talking about, you need to try, you need to do this, you need to do that, when I know you said that she's not someone that's moved by other people and all that stuff, but I think it did somewhat get to her in a sense, and also with how she's presented on the show, when they're constantly telling her, well, you need to try, well, you still haven't kissed yet, you still haven't hugged, you still haven't. When you have that, I'm not saying that's what led her to do that. I'm saying it probably definitely played a part in her trying more.
Okay. Yeah, I just think we disagree. I'm not going to call him a Dusty. We disagree on that, but I do think, and I agree that, hey, you're attracted to who you're attracted to.
Let's clarify.
Yes.
I personally don't think he's a Dusty based off of his finances. I think he's a Dusty based off of his mindset and the way that he treated Marla, because she has what he would consider more than him. So that's why I consider him a Dusty. It's not all about how much you make and all this stuff, but I consider him a Dusty from that aspect.
Okay. So you guys keep moving the needle. So Lin said this last night. It's because of his mindset, like you said, because he was not motivated. And I want an ambitious man. As an Aries, as you know, I want a man that's ambitious and all of these things. But because he wasn't self-motivated, he's a Dusty. Not because of the weight of his wallet. Interesting. All right, y'all. Yeah. And we know that her and Rachel are best friends, and she likes to hang out with Rachel. I do keep yeah. Crystal keeps asking the same question because they keep moving the needle. Yes, Ruthann, I keep asking the same question about a Dusty. You gonna answer it? Thank you. So I keep asking the same question, just like people call women what do you call it? Pygmalias and gold diggers. Because I like a motivated man that's self-motivated and that's ambitious. Am I a gold digger? No. Thank you. Okay. Kels. Thank you, Kels. All right. Okay, David, I'm gonna get you. So Tia was saying, I don't think Mila does anything she doesn't want to do, period. If she had sex with Gil, it's because she wanted to. Okay? She wanted to because she wanted to have sex with him, but she doesn't see long term. I'll agree with that. She wanted to have sex with him. She wanted to, but she wasn't attracted to him. That's what y'all are saying. She wasn't attracted to him. She wanted to kiss him. She just wanted to move the needle. That's what I think. All right, y'all. This was a lot of fun. Who else did we get? Everybody?
That's it. That's all.
That's it. Okay. Okay. The fashions to this week was interesting. You know, we have uh
I like Mirla's outfit. I think that's I like Rachel. I like the green. I like the color green Rachel wore. I don't know. She always like come in the Forever 21
yes.
like 1999 club looking dresses. So I wasn't for the quality of the dress, but the color was very pretty.
even her relaxed when she was at the ranch, it was all everything was Forever 21 little like high school dresses outfits.
And nothing wrong with Forever 21. I just don't want my stuff to look like it's from there.
Absolutely. I agree. Nothing's wrong with Forever 21, but Rachel, come on. And Brett and her double stick tape was popping. Brett and her breast tape was popping. Like Brett, we need to work on that. Change that up.
They were definitely. I'm not even gonna hate on her because mine are way lower than hers. But I was like, girl, that's what you chose. Okay. And it would be different if you were standing or something. But I think because you're sitting, it just looks so slouchy and yeah.
Yes, Chindy, that's what this bromance. Johnny said that Jose has a light around him. And I just gravitated towards
and
that.
He's a moth attracted. I was like, I want to be around no moth, Jose. Johnny, I'm a moth, and he was the flame. I was like, is this a Janet Jackson song? Like a moth to the flame burned on the fire? I was like, what is happening? What is happening? It's like he was playing that in his head. I think that is definitely their song. Like when they hang out, they are playing that song because what kind of analogy? What that was what came to your mind? Like we've been trying to understand your feelings towards Bao this whole time, and it's just like why was I matched with her? She's the worst match you could have gave me. And then when it comes to Johnny, it's like, this light, I just feel this warmth coming towards it. I was like, Johnny, what the hell are you like? Okay. And the comment, if I was a girl, I would be into Johnny, not Johnny. What is the man's name? Jose. I was like, if that ain't a sign, I don't know what else is. But that was crazy.
This is a sign that I've been resisting. I was like, until I see it, I'm not gonna say nothing, you guys, because I don't. We get too much trouble about like making assumptions. But Johnny just kept on this same track of being the moth to the flame. I was like, stop already. Like, what is, and even Jose was like, you're making me uncomfortable, and shaking his leg. And of course, as we just said, he spent all his money on them socks. So it was just doing too much. My issue, and we were talking about this before, are we going to even do this next season? I feel like I need to take a break. Somebody said earlier in the chat, like, what is it with 2 seasons of black couples that they have painted that just look horrible? That is just like,
Right.
yeah, and I don't know that I can like take it. I just don't know if I can take it. Like,
Mhm.
so I said I might have to take a break next season and come back the season after for season 15 because it was just 2 seasons of to just crap. I was like in this, and honestly, I would hope, and this is the last thing, that this show and this production company, they do a revamping of how they choose the couples, how they edit these scenes and everything, because not one of these couples are successful. Not one of these couples. All of these couples are problematic. That's my last thing. Go ahead. You go ahead.
For me, it was the drawn outness. Why was everything so drawn out? Why do we need to see Rachel and Jose brushing their teeth all the time? Why do we have to see so many clips of that? Like, there was just a lot of unnecessariness. Is that a word? I don't think it's a word. But I was just I that it's like it's already a 2 hour show, and then you just put all these, it was literally months of unnecessary footage just to get to the meat and potatoes, which just left us like, huh? Because the editing was so off. But I was just like, yeah, I'm really over it. I don't know. I'm gonna need some time.
I'm in.
Maybe like I don't know when the next season's coming on. I don't know. I might do baby steps and work myself back in, but this season it was just the length. I just felt like so much time was wasted. Like they could have made this
So
a 10 episode season and we would have been good.
yeah, the next season is starts in January and they're in Boston. So and then I think the season after that they're in San Diego. So I'm
Right.
like, maybe they need like, and that's our hometown. I said maybe I need to come back when they're in San Diego.
Right.
But honestly, I don't know any African American. I'm like, huh, who are they going to choose for that? So I'm
The
just very
military men will be on the team.
military men or yeah, retired or ex-military. So I said maybe I need to come back for that for because this next season I think I just need to take a break. I agree. Somebody was saying the last they had Woody and Amani, but they were season 11. Season 12 we had Chris and Paige. Now we have um not just Gil and Mirla, but Michaela and Zach, and just it's just been awful. So yeah, it's just been a lot. Y'all, that's it for tonight. Tune in tomorrow night for CMK After Dark. We
Ladies
are
Lounge.
sorry,
CMK
Ladies
Ladies.
Lounge. Ladies Lounge. I'm so glad she stopped me. For Ladies Lounge, we're gonna have a special guest. Chris Natha is gonna be joining us, and we are gonna be talking about certified side chick. You know, as y'all know, what's been in the news lately with the baby has
Mhm.
been acting like a baby. So, and got a new baby, and all the things. So that's where the conversation is coming from. But you know how we do. You know how we do on CMK Ladies Lounge. And David and other gentlemen, men, please join. You're welcome to join. Yeah, you're welcome to join. Go ahead, Misha. You got the last word.
Yeah, join us Sunday for our Ready to Love. No, we don't have an episode this week. I don't think we are doing. I don't think there's an episode of Ready to Love, so we might not have a live. I meant to confirm that before I got on here, but I don't think they're. I think they're saving it for next week. They always skip a week randomly on Ready to Love, but I don't think they're airing an episode this Friday. But yeah, I guess join us on Friday for CMK Ladies Lounge. And yeah, that's about it.
Misha and I, we got to do this research. Kels is saying that Gil is getting Jamie's job, which that doesn't surprise us, but that's interesting.
That's probably why he got that beard and the red bottom.
Yes.
That makes that could, I don't know.
That's what we've been talking about this whole time.
we jokingly said he was coming for Jamie and Pastor Cal's job. We were joking.
We were
but if
joking.
that really happened, then that would make sense why the producers were putting him up to leading every single conversation. But
yeah, no, that's exactly what we've been saying. High vibes is that we can't take it after Chris and Paige, and now Michaela and Zach, and now Gil and Miller. We got to take a break. So, so yeah, thank you guys so much. We got more coming. Yeah, more stuff coming. Just definitely, please like, share, and subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already. And we got more content coming. So thank you.